Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here we're going to be doing a top 5 best teams of the month, but I will be including only Proud Battle teams in this video. Like I said in the previous video, this is a two-part series, so I did the standard teams last time, and this video is only going to be Proud Battle teams because a lot of people have been playing that mode as it gives you a lot more RP, assuming you win both games. I want to put out in this video as a disclaimer, of course this is for the month of July, so it's only going to be about what teams are in the meta right now, including Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Legends Limited Omega Shenron and all the units that are around those characters. And also none of the teams on this list are in order, so any of the teams could be any of the teams depending on the player and equipment, etc, but they're all good enough to be used in Proud Battle. That's all the information we've got for the intro. Let's get into the video now. Alright, so the first team of the video should kind of go without saying, it's Fusion Warriors. Fusion Warrior come up every single year, is unbeatable. Fusion Warriors, if they had an award for pulling off the biggest comeback every single year, they would win that crap, because when they drop the Fusion Warriors going #1, all they do is go #1. But with the Proud Battle team this year specifically, they've dropped 3 Fusion Warriors in one anniversary. So for all the guys that said, oh, they're not going to drop another Fusion Warrior because they already dropped 2, nobody even thought they would drop 2, and now look at where we are with 3, and if you want to count Omega, that's 4. Anyways, we got the team here. Corrupted Zamasu on the leader slot, Vegito Blue, second option. We got Gogeta Blue, Fusing Super Vegito, and Ultra Vegito Blue with G4 last, even though it doesn't really matter what order you bring them. Now, me personally, I like to separate the teams by one good team, one bad team. If you can't tell, the good team is Fusing Super Vegito, Ultra Vegito Blue, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I kind of balanced it out by keeping GB on the top, but CMZ is also on that top tier caliber. So out of all the units here, the main 3 units that are the best right now should be obviously G4, Super Vegito, and Gogeta Blue. So I don't want to have all of them on one team, so it's an odd number, you know. You gotta have 2 on one side, 1 on the other side. I decided to put Gogeta on the other side and put him with the other. CMZ is like that 4th option. Ultra Vegito Blue could be a 4th or 5th option, and obviously Legends Limited Vegito Blue is the weakest link of the whole team. So I try to run the top 3 first. If I win with my worst team, the second game is going to be easy as hell. Or I can go in with my strong team, and then the second game is going to be harder, you know, because it's my weaker team. Depending on how I want to go, you might want to start strong so that they just leave straight away, or you might want to start weak, and if you still win with the weak team, you know the strong team is going to slam. Now, obviously, there could be some other options which we might want to speak about, so I'm going to change it. So Sparking Ultra, change the character tag. We want to look for Fusion Warrior, press OK, press OK. And then with the Fusion Warrior options that you've got, sorry, I actually need to turn this down because it was mad loud. If with the Fusion Warriors we already had Vegito Blue, we got Fusing Super Vegito. These guys suck. If we're looking at the greens, I actually don't have any. But if I was going to mention one, Pycon, you just got to be wary of when Gogeta 4 is going to be coming up because most people are going to be using him, or Ultimate Gohan. G4 can be used as well. Sleeper option, don't sleep on him. Going into purple, G4 obviously. I don't recommend UGB, but if you're desperate, for sure. Yellow, we've got Gogeta Blue. Without saying, I don't recommend anybody else. And then reds is where it really shines. UVB, Super 17, Corrupted Zamasu, Ultra Omega, even though he's only really good with 3 GT members. If you wanted to run LO this guy, I would actually advise putting Ultra Omega. So you've got, put like, let's look at his abilities. I think it's going to be the same either way. I would recommend putting the new Legend Limited Omega on the leader slot, then Ultra Omega 1 down, G4 1 down. So you've got 3 GT members, then the rest would be normal Fusion Warriors. It would kind of mess up the synergy a bit, but it depends on how desperate you are, you know. I'm just putting it out there. Then you have to switch between the 3, then you pick G4 and then the 2 other Fusion Warriors, which would be Vegito, Gogeta, CMZ or something, you know, and it would work. Fusion Warriors going to be one of the teams obviously in this video. I took a while talking about them, but just to show you how I'd go with it. It's not the only way you can, but you know, that's what I do. But yeah, #1, we got Fusion Warriors. #2, you might be surprised, but this is a dangerous team. We've got Majin Buu Saga. Now, it's Majin Buu Saga, but you lead a slot, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. In Proud Battle, this is actually the team I've come up against the most. It's the most popular team. It's actually insane. The bench options that I'm missing would be Majin Buu Evil and Ultimate Gohan. So you're going to be running Kid Buu, who has endurance. You got UG4, who has his counter. You got Ultimate Gohan, who's got endurance and cancellation buffs. Majin Buu Evil, who doesn't have endurance, but he does have combo breaking potential, healing, and he cancels buffs. We've got Fusing Super Vegito, who's got the Rising Rush mechanic. And you've got Free to Play 18, who's going to be supporting the team majorly. She supports her allies through her main ability, and she buffs specifically those guys that are Majin Buu Saga, which is going to be the whole team except G4. But G4's so good, he works on his own. Really and truly, I don't think there's any other variation of this team that you could run. Maybe if you want to include Shin, that's the only addition I would add, and you take out whoever you don't have, you know. But G4 is kind of a must for this team. Ultimate Gohan's a must, and Fusing Super Vegito is a must. Kid Buu is on that level of must, but I don't feel like he's on the level of how dominant individually he is. He is super good, don't sleep on him. But obviously Ultimate Gohan is just insane. These are like top 5, top 6 units we're talking about, you know. Fusing Super Vegito, G4, they speak for themselves. I could show you possibly what else you could have. So if I take this off and I go to Majin Buu Saga, there it is. Okay. In blue, it's literally just those two. Everybody else is trash, and because it's Proud Battle, you need the full 6. In green, it's literally trash except Majin Buu Evil. In purple, it's literally trash except Ultimate Gohan. In yellow, it's literally trash. And even Free to Play 18 is a surprise. She's actually really good. Don't sleep on her. A lot of God rankers use her seriously. And then in red, it was just Shin, you know. It's literally trash. Maybe the Super Saiyan 3 Goku sneak. I've seen some people try to use him. He's not terrible, but of course he's not up to par with anybody else on the team. So the issue with Proud Battle is that the teams are so strict, you know. You don't have one piece, you're missing a big difference, you know. But number 2, Majin Buu Saga, if you got all the pieces, definitely run it. It's the team I've come up against the most, and it synergizes super well. If you are curious about how you run it, so Ultimate Gohan and G4, you never run them together. You never want to run 2 purples together. You want to separate them. So what I've seen people do is run UG4, Fusing Super Vegito together, and then they might add Kid Buu on the 3rd. So it'd be purple, blue, or you could have Free to Play 18. So it would be like this. It will be Fusion Warriors basically on the first half, and then you have 18 or something. Then you have Kid Buu, Ultimate Gohan, and then Evil Majin Buu. So it's like a regen with Ultimate Gohan. Ultimate Gohan's cancellations and Evil Buu's cancellation keeps the team running, especially when you have double endurance on one team with Kid Buu. It's insane. But on the first team, it's more damage output. Free to Play 18 is going to be supporting the team, and she's supporting specifically Vegito because it's Majin Buu Saga. And then G4 is just G4. You can just run him solo. It's insane how good he is. And the team pretty much operates as super good. Obviously, you don't have to run it that way. It's just how I've seen some people run it. Of course, go play Proud Battle. You'll see this team coming up. It's actually nuts. But that's number 2. We got Majin Buu Saga. Number 3 should kind of be self-explanatory. We got Son Family. It's built up of a lot of popular members from different teams all being put on one team because it's just Goku, slight additions of Gohans. But let's look at what we got here. We got Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in the leader slot. Even though he is quite a victim to G4, if you're playing Proud Battle, there's 2 different teams, so you won't be always fighting G4, so you don't have to worry about that, you know? That's the benefit here. In Proud Battle, Ultra Gohan can actually shine. Vegito's Vegito, the Fusing Super Vegito with his Rising Rush. Gogeta Blue's the best counter to G4 because of the Strike Assault. And then on the other 2 options that I'll be missing, one of them is going to be Ultimate Gohan, and the other one is going to be Super Saiyan God Goku, the green one. So Bonku's there. He doesn't have to be there. You could have Bardock and Goku. I'll show you some options right now. So if I actually change the filter, take the episode off, go back to filter, put on Son Family, like where is it? There it is. So okay. If we go to the blues, we got Bardock and Goku, Bonku, Super Vegito. Nobody else should really make the bill. If we're going into greens, we've got the Revival Gohan could be an option, but obviously Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is better, and God Q is also an option. Then in the purples, we've got Ultimate Gohan. I think he's really the only one you might want to run as a purple. In the yellows, we got Gogeta Blue, but we also have Ultra UI if you do want to run him, but just be careful. Ultra UI, his Z ability doesn't buff anybody else on the team, but he would be receiving buffs. Ultra UI is actually pretty selfish, I'm not going to lie, if you look at his Z ability. It's literally just Universe Rep, I guess Saiyans as well. But if you're running like Ultimate Gohan, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as well, they won't be getting those buffs, so you gotta be careful. I did say not anybody, but I didn't literally mean it. That's my fault. I apologize. Going into red, we got Beast Gohan and Pan, but again, obviously not better options than most of the guys I have on the team. I built the team for some layer of protection, so Ultra Gohan's got the endurance, and if I run him with Fusing Vegito and Gogeta, they're going to be doing offensive capabilities while Ultra Gohan has the endurance. But then if I'm running here, I've got Ultimate Gohan, then I've got Bomb Q. These 2 are both cancelling buffs. You know, Bomb Q doesn't cancel buffs from blue cards, but Ultimate Gohan does. double endurance, which is good, and then the last slot could be God Goku, who also has endurance. So it's a triple endurance team, which could be crazy. The top half is super offensive. The bottom half does have offensive capabilities with Ultimate Gohan, but it's mainly built to, like, you know, survive. Proud Battle's pretty tricky. It's just an option of how I was thinking about it, but if you have different pieces, you might want to go a different way. Like Beast Gohan, who can also cancel buffs even though he doesn't have endurance. You might want to go Pan for support. It's all up to you depending on what you want to run. You might even want to put Ultra UI on the leader slot so you have 2 yellows, you know. G4 is very dominant. That might be something you might want to consider. Third team for this video, Sun Family. It's a good team. It's worth using if you do have the pieces. It's an expensive team, but of course it's one of the most popular teams too in terms of the units specifically on them, not the team right now. Fusion Warriors is by far the most popular team, but Majin Buu, Saga, and Proud Battle is so clear. But yeah, number 3, Sun Family. Alright, so the number 4 team, we've got Saiyans. Saiyans here, it's, I think, in my opinion anyways, kind of a tier below, but it can still be used if you've got the pieces. I think Giblet, I'm going to mention him straight away, only if you have him 14 stars, otherwise don't bring him out. He's going to be a liability to some degree. We got UG4 leader slot, who's obviously a main man. We got Super Vegito, we got Gogeta Blue. Then we've obviously got Bardock and Goku, as you can see. That's why I said obviously, but he's kind of a tier below as well. And G4. Now, do not run the team as you see it. So the main 3 here and these bottom 3. If you run these bottom 3 on one team, you will get pulverized. You don't want to do that. You want to split it up. So what I would do is add the indestructible layer to protect G4. So I'd run Bardock and Goku with G4. I'd keep Vegito down here, and then potentially, how do you want to see it? Do you want to keep Gogeta up here with G4? I would say to counter G4, you shouldn't have G4. So I would actually put Gogeta down here. G4 is just above these guys. So I'd run these 3 here, and then I'd run these 3 here. Or maybe if you want to swap a green, I'd put Giblet on the top half. Let me actually change the filter as well. So in this case, I'm running Saiyan. I would run it like this if I was being very super specific. So G4 is meant to carry Giblet and Bardock and Goku, but the indestructible layer is nice, and Giblet can go dark type, which could come clutch. But in the second team, there's no protection, but Vegito and Gogeta are such good offensive units that it should work to get you some output. G4 is there to take a few hits. Even though he's green, he's going to be a victim to purple. He can get that little type neutral that might help his ultimate, might nuke someone, you never know, you know. Double cover changes as well from G4, which could be useful, similar to Ultra G4 with his counter. I mean cover change, sorry. But G4, Ultra G4 gets a blue card. You can see Saiyan's already is looking quite lackluster. I can show you some other pieces, so let's go to the character list. We're Saiyaned up right now. If we're looking at the blues, the thing with Saiyans is a lot of the units are Saiyans, but they don't always buff Saiyans, so that also makes the team difficult to build. Like, Fusing Super Vegito is going to be your main man. Bonku could be an option. Bardock and Goku could be an option. But then let's look at some other guys. Maybe you might run this Super Saiyan Goku at 14 stars with his plat, I believe he has. Anybody else, it's looking quite lackluster straight off the bat. Going into greens, I put G4 on because he buffs Saiyans. But you could also have maybe Pycon. You could possibly maybe have Rev Sign. But these guys are like liabilities. The whole green section, in my opinion, is a liability besides maybe God Goku, you know. You could run him. Does he actually buff Saiyans? Let me check. Just in case somebody's playing. But God Goku. He buffs Sun Family. But not Saiyan specifically. So if we're looking at what we have already, he wouldn't be buffing Giblet. He wouldn't be buffing G4 because he buffs Sun Family and not Saiyan. So that's kind of a shame. Going into purple, G4 should go without saying. If you don't even have him, you might want to reconsider. Going into yellow, Gogeta Blue is an option. UI Goku is an option. He's a Saiyan. I believe his Z ability actually has Saiyan as well. Yeah, just to show that. And do I have him on the squad? No, you could actually put him on the squad instead of like Bardock and Goku. So you have yellow on the upside, or instead of Giblet, so you have a yellow on the upside. That would actually make a lot of sense, but you'd miss out on his ultra ability because there's no universe rep members here. So I'm actually going to swap that out just so it just looks aesthetically better. And because of my OCD, I want him to be matching with the thing. And let me even increase my OCD so I have G4s, 2 yellows, and then, you know, half and half. Goku Bardock, Vegito Goku, and Vegeta Goku. Let's go into yellows now. We was just at yellows. So Gogeta, UI I spoke about already. Everybody else just lackluster. Then for reds, it's kind of tough, you know. Giblet, I had to bring him out. Ultra Vegito Blue, but it's not like, you know, does he buff Saiyans? I don't think he buffs Saiyans directly. I believe it's Fusion Warriors, Future. Yeah, it's just not what you need, you know. Other options I didn't mention, Nappa and Vegeta. They could be used for their revival layer, but like G4 would probably just nuke them. They do buff Saiyans. And then Super Baby 2, I don't think he buffs Saiyans. I'll just fact check that though, just for you guys right here. I haven't seen anybody running. He's like powerful points, so you have to leader slot him. Even though he does have the Saiyan tag, you know, he does have the anti-Saiyan thing, which would be helpful, but you'd have to build the team around him because of the Z ability not meshing with all the other Saiyans. So Saiyans is kind of awkward. It is something that could work, but you have to be very, very technical with all the Z abilities, you know, and who you're using could make one side of the team super weak because some guys are just super good and some guys are going to get carried. But yeah, the fourth team I'm mentioning in this video, Saiyans, I think it's good enough to be used, but it's a step behind like maybe Majin Buu, Saga, Fusion Warriors, and powerful opponents, which I don't know if I've mentioned, but if I haven't, it's the next team. So I hit you guys with a spoiler. We got powerful opponents, which is going to be the last team of this video. Powerful opponents has been climbing their way up behind the scenes. They haven't been headlining banners like that besides maybe Super 17 and Super Baby 2. And then even just now, we just got Legend Limited Omega, but they've been getting Zenkais here and there, specifically the two you can see on the screen, Corrupted Zamasu and Kid Buu. Absolutely insane units, it's unreal. But let's look at what we got here. We got Ultra Golden Frieza, comeback, not revival. So he doesn't get shafted by the likes of UG4, who's going to ult and make revival units come back with 70% less health. And he doesn't get shafted by Vegito, who's going to take you out when the revival kicks in. Vegito gets 50% damage inflicted, I think, and some Dragon Balls. Comeback is not the same as revival, so he doesn't get the downside of those. He's actually going to get positives, so he's going to damage you for taking out his life, which is crazy. The second spot who I'm missing would be Super Baby 2, or it could be Majin Buu Evil. Either way, there's the two spots that are missing that I haven't included, but they are guys that can be used for the team. You could also have Nappa and Vegeta, who could also fit on the team, but you see I've got Corrupted Zamasu, who's anti-Saiyan, would be the perfect partner for Super Baby 2. Then we've got Kid Buu, and I think Majin Buu Evil would more so support that range type team at the bottom. So at the top is like Melee, Ultra Golden Frieza, Super Baby 2, and Corrupted Zamasu. Then at the bottom is range type, Kid Buu, Zenkai. We got Evil Majin Buu, and we got Super 17. If we go to the character, let's change the filter. So let's change it from Saiyans and find powerful opponents. I scrolled past it. There we go. Okay. Looking at the blue options we got here, Kid Buu is obviously the best, but you could also have the God Destruction Beerus, Janemba, possibly depending on the stars. I'd say 10 or higher. Looking at the greens, Evil Majin Buu is easily the best choice, but you could also have Omega Shenron, who would actually promote that range type. And Omega Shenron also has Indestructible. Majin Buu Evil, he cancels buffs, but Omega Shenron has Indestructible, which is going to be basically, he's immune to rushes. So how you want to go about that is up to you, but there's two options that are actually good greens, even though purple, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Ultimate Gohan are very scary. Even Golden Frieza, who we're going to mention next for the purple option. He's your main purple option. Main purple option by far. Nappa and Vegeta I did mention, but obviously Ultra Golden Frieza is clear. Going into yellows, Super Baby 2, main man in my opinion. You could use Ultra Kid Buu, 10 star or higher at least. That's what I'd recommend. And then for red, we've got quite a few options. So we got Super 17, Corrupted Zamasu. Corrupted Zamasu is the main man, Super 17 second option. We got Ultra Omega Shenron with Plat, but I want to emphasize that if you're using Ultra Omega Shenron, you must be running him with 3 GT units to get the maximum out of his Plat. So you need to be considering a Legends Limited Omega Shenron and Super 17 alongside him, or Super Baby 2. Do you get what I'm saying? To make the powerful opponent team really shine. You could possibly have Red Cell if you want to give Super 17 that juice, but then you'd be running double red, which is risky when there's likes of Super Vegito running who will be damaging the Reds big time. But in Proud Battle, people don't go for Zenkai buffs because of how the teams are built. You need a full 6. So it's very rare that you have a Zenkai buff that could actually buff you and also be of use. So if we look at Corrupted Zamasu here, I believe he buffs God Key. You know, maybe on Fusion Warriors, if you run Ultra Vegeta or Blue, you will get that, because Zamasu can also be used on Fusion Warriors if you leader slot him. But then, you know, on other teams it wouldn't work. For example, this team, we're not having no God Key powerful opponents at the moment, unless they drop like a red God of Destruction Legend Limited top out. But yeah, that's powerful opponents, the last team I'm going to mention in this video. There isn't any honorable mentions because I feel like Proud Battle is so strict, and even past like Fusion Warriors, Majin Buu Saga, Son Family, kind of stretching it in my opinion, and Powerful Opponent, which is actually a good team to go against the Saiyan meta. it's kind of stretching it with the other teams that you might want to mention and use in Proud Battle. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I did my best to compose these teams so that you guys can use them based on my experiences, what I've seen and what I've been using. Hopefully I got teams right. Maybe if I missed the team, you might want to mention it in the comment section, because I'm not the law. I'm just giving you guys what I think is best. So yeah, I'll probably continue doing this every single month because I feel like Proud Battle is getting more and more popular for the RP purposes of trying to hit God rank. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.